I think on the much more positive side, the other big challenge we're having is power consumption. We've talked about this a lot. And the liberal policies over the last decade or so have been because frankly, Trump didn't actually do a whole lot against this in his first term. Um, have actually been have sort of boxed the industry into a corner where there's so much focus on green energy, so much focus on the regulatory stance that it's actually quite difficult to build power plants today. And that is, and we can have the whole conversation about whether or not we should be, right. Should we not be increasing power consumption? But at least in the short term, there's definitely, it's on the critical path of the ability to support these workloads, to continue the development of this technology. Power is a necessary evil in that. And so it is very clear that his broad stance in this category is pretty clear that that's going to be lessened. He's going to reduce a lot of the focus on green technology. He's going to be much more open regulatorily to have power plants being built. And at least in the very short term, that may counteract any impact on the tariffs. So, I guess we'll see. The challenge, of course, is that building power plants is a very long-term process. It takes a long time. And, will that actually play out, or by the time they get ready, are the regulations going to change again if there's another shift in the administration? So, it's there's a whole lot to it, and it's hard to kind of get your head around it. But again, I find it like sitting here scratching my head. I used to have hair before all this, I guess.
Yes. Biden did make green energy an important part of his legislative push over the past few years. But here's the honest truth: there's a lot around energy that goes outside of any sort of presidential push, because believe it or not, over the past couple of years, America has become the leading oil producer in the world, passing Saudi Arabia and Russia. And why? Because we have a global economy that pushes for the use of petroleum, whether we like it or not. Obviously, Biden was a more liberal president than Trump was going to be, but Biden ended up pumping more oil in the United States than Trump did. Why? Because honestly, presidents don't end up mattering that much for that specific area of the energy sector. Now, in the tech world, we obviously need more energy. Every reasonable projection says we're probably going to triple our use of energy as IT over the next decade or so because of AI. AI basically being able to use a lot more power and energy, and that power has to come from somewhere. Right? We've talked about the AI nuclear push that is starting to happen. And frankly, I don't think that it's because tech companies wanted nuclear power as much as there just isn't anywhere else to go right now. It's either use existing nuclear power plants or build brand new wind or solar or coal or other power plants. They just did the math and said restarting nuclear power plants or starting nuclear power plants is probably the cheapest way for us to go over the next 5 to 10 years. They did math. But who knows what Trump is going to say about that? It's unclear what he thinks about nuclear. He's offended by green because it's politically I guess helpful to be against green energy. But honestly, we have a lot of areas in West Texas and Wyoming that are perfect for building up wind farms. So, that's not really based on whether it's good or bad for anybody. It's just kind of this, the feels.
Did you not hear the whole thing about the birds that he went down around? Whatever. Anyway,
Mhm.
so